How you doing, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to MechWarrior Online with Scout. I apologize for the lack of videos for the last 3 weeks. I've actually been on leave. Went back home to see my grandparents and help them with the troubles they've been having with their health and all. But I'm back now, and I'm working through all of the footage I had, trying to get the videos out and all the various projects they had for you guys. And I wanted to start with this one right here, the Timberwolf Prime. This is arguably the most recognizable, at least clan mech in all of Battletech. And it's a mech that I've actually not really covered. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the Timberwolf Prime and see if I could make a simple but effective build that was everything that I think of when I think of the Timberwolf Prime. Effective at all ranges, sturdy, reliable, and lethal. So I'll show you guys what I came up with in the mech lab. As always, we'll take a look at the skills and then we'll dive right into some gameplay with the Timberwolf Prime. So here you guys can see my build for the Timberwolf Prime here in the mech lab, and as usual I haven't tinkered with it a whole lot. I wanted to try to make the mech close to its source material but still effective in MechWarrior Online. So what I did is I pulled out the medium pulse laser from the left torso, 2 machine guns in the center and right torso, and the ton of ammo. Those are the things that I felt like were kind of extra, and I could use that space and that weight to make this more effective as what it is, which is in essence a fire support platform that can also close the range and fight up close towards the end of the battle. So to that end, what I did is I used the tonnage from the 2 medium pulse lasers to add 2 additional heat sinks, 1 in each arm, and then I used the ton of machine gun ammo to add an additional ton of LRM ammo, 1/2 ton for each launcher located with the launcher in the left and right torsos. Then I added a 1/2 ton of armor, and last but not least I added a light active probe here in the center torso just to give me better sensor range, quicker lock-on time, so on and so forth. And that's really it. It's a very simple build, very inexpensive to make, and I think those minor changes really make this mech much more effective in MechWarrior Online. And the strategy for this is really simple. You just move with the team, keep your distance, let the game develop while you sling LRMs at first, which are hopefully weakening the enemy team, chewing away that armor. And then what I try to do is I try to use up all my LRMs. I try to stay away from speculative shots at like 800, 1,000 meters. I try to save it to 400 to 600 meters. Dump all those LRMs on somebody, hopefully an assault mech or two. And then as the teams really start to close the distance and get into the brawl, I go and use my weight, use my armor, and my 4 lasers to finish off mechs and hopefully pull out the win. So that's the build and the theory behind it. Now let's take a look at the skills, and I'll show you guys the skill tree right quick. So here you can see I have the majority of my points in the firepower tree, 41 points, going pretty much for your standard laser duration quirk, all 4 of them, because the laser burns on clan ER large lasers are of course kind of long, so I picked up all 4 of the laser durations. I did pick up some heat gen and some cooldown along the way, and I've also concentrated on the missile quirks. With only 1.5 tons of LRM ammo for each launcher, you're going to need both of the missile rack quirks. I've also reduced the spread and picked up the high explosives. So that's what I've done in the firepower tree. I did pick up 15 points in the survivability tree, concentrating on the left side of the tree, trying to pick up as much armor hardening as I can, just to give a little more staying power to this Timberwolf Prime. I've skipped mobility and obviously jump jets, but I have gone with 20 points in the operations tree, and that's to pick up max heat containment and max cool run. Again, the idea being to put as much firepower downrange into enemy mechs as I can without having to back off, cool down, or worry about shutting down. Then I've got 9 value points and sensors, of course, for the 60% radar deprivation, and the 6 value points in the auxiliary tree for 2 cool shots and 1 artillery strike. And that is about it for the skills. So that's it, guys. That's my build for the Timberwolf Prime, which you can see here I've done in a kind of a smoke jag scheme with the smoke jaguar red against some gray, and then some decals, smoke jaguar decals off on various places. Very good looking mech as always. The Timberwolf has always been a nice mech, and so the only question is, can I make this work as well in MechWarrior Online as it does on the tabletop? So let's take a look at the gameplay and see if I can make it work.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
This is Clan Command. Get to the target and capture it. Cut down any enemies that get in the way.
Alright, so we got domination on Grim Plexus again, so we do have a little bit of time, and I can tell you guys about the history of the Timberwolf. So the Timberwolf was actually, not positively, but I would say 90% the first Omni-Mech encountered by the Inner Sphere. Omnivids of the Timberwolf, spotted by the Kellhounds and Phelan Kell on the Rock in the Oberon Confederation, were sent to Comstar on the 13th of August in 3049. So, kind of a cool bit of history that this was probably the first Omni-Mech that the Inner Sphere ever saw. And of course, targeting computers couldn't identify it. The torso looked like a catapult, the arms looked like a marauder, and that's how it got the name Mad Cat. It was actually first produced in 2945 on Stranomecta by Clan Wolf, and
Artillery strike online.
the Timberwolf is actually a second generation Omni-Mech. It was built along with the Gargoyle and the Naga to replace the Woodsman, an aging design that was one of the first generation Omni-Mechs. And it was intended to be a symbol of Clan Wolf's might. And you could actually argue that this is in reality the single Clan Wolf totem mech. There are some others, but everybody knows the Timberwolf.
Acquired.
And now we got our first targets, LRMs up here. Oops. Can't quite get a lock. So we'll just let this develop, see if we can put some fire support down on that Timberwolf. Got some hits there. Hopefully that lock holds. There we go. The Wolves jealously defended the production rights for the Timberwolf, though. They knew what a strong Omni-Mech this thing was, and they were not inclined at all to let the other clans have it. So Timberwolves were actually very rare in the other clans, and the only time you ever saw them was if those clans had acquired them via, limited trade agreements, gifts, or battlefield salvage. And a lot of people speculate that's actually one of the reasons the first waves of the clan invasion didn't do so well. That guy just got pummeled. Is because you look at other the clan omnis like the Summoner and the Hellbringer, they're not that great. The Timberwolf is really a powerhouse, but the Wolves wouldn't let the other clans have it. So overall, you could make the argument that significantly weakened the clan invasion. Get up here and get some fire into this blood ass. Put LRMs into him while we're backing off so he can't return fire. Just continue to pummel him. Again, I'm just trying to conserve my armor right now while doing a lot of damage with the LRMs. Pitch in with the lasers where they're needed. And I just want to conserve my mech because it's pretty neck and neck right now. And at the end, I want to have the majority of a Timberwolf so I can take the hits from my team and help us close it out. But as you can see, I definitely have no qualms about coming up here and stomping people if it's safe to do so. Get this guy around the corner here. Eh! Alright, they're distracted by those mediums. But we can still back off and use our LRMs to try and finish the Stormcrow without taking a ton of damage. Although I could have not stood in that artillery strike. That probably wasn't very smart. Let's see if we can get up here. The speed and the firepower of this mech is... I mean, it's nothing tremendous, but it's definitely above average in both categories, and that's what makes this such a great mech. And you can see here with judicious use of firing groups and being careful how you time it, I'm actually able to manage my heat pretty effectively, and then when I want to, I can do like that. I can break line of sight, not take damage, and still put out 40 points of damage with the LRMs. That's why I love this build. And we're clearly pulling ahead now. In terms of notable pilots, see if we can try to get some LRMs in this guy. The most notable... No, back up. There we go. Keep wailing on this. No. I want to back off and use my LRMs, but that was silly. That was too close. But at the same time, I don't want to break line of sight.
New target acquired.
Keep chasing this guy. But in terms of notable pilots, actually some of the most notable pilots of the Timberwolf were not actually Clan Wolf orders. I would argue probably the most notable Timberwolf pilot is Aiden Pride. Now, if you haven't heard of Aiden Pride, oh, you're in a bad spot, my dude. You're going to get wrecked. Let's see. Oh, this is the last guy. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you guys about Aiden Pride in the next one because I don't think we're going to have enough time. And it's a cool story that I want to do justice to. So we'll just come over here and finish this guy. Oh, I thought those LRMs had him.
We are victorious in battle.
Well, I feel like that's a pretty good game. and a pretty decent example of exactly what I want to do with this mech. Let's see if the scoreboard reflects that. Yeah, we did alright. 681 points of damage. We did not get any kills, but we touched all but 2 of their mechs. And that's, you know, just a measure of success of this mech. You can put fire almost anywhere, almost any time, and it's not that hard to rack up a significant amount of damage. So it's a pretty good game. We'll load it up and see what else we can get.
Not to be like the Timberwolves and the Archer.
Oh, man.
I know.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Command to all warriors on the surface. Your task is
Yeah,
to
okay,
wipe
we're gonna have to be
away
rotating
all
perfectly here.
Show
Both teams are
no
fast.
mercy.
Alright, so back on Grim Plexus again. And we left off talking about Star Colonel Aiden Pride, one of my favorite Battletech characters. So Star Colonel Aiden Pride, he was a Jade Falcon. He was actually the Sibmate of Martha Pride. And he had a really interesting career, lots of ups and downs in his career, but at the end of the day, he finally got into command of a portion of the Falcon Guards, and he ran a mech. He was one of the first planners that said, "Look, if we're going to beat the Inner Sphere, we can't rely on so many ammunition weapons. We're running out of ammunition. They have more mechs than us. We're gonna one day end up in a bad situation if we keep doing that." And he believed in mobility, the importance of jump jets. So he actually piloted a modified Mad Cat that was very much like this Mad Cat, save what he did. He pulled the medium pulse and the machine guns, and he added jump jets, which we can't do in this game. Otherwise, I would have done. But yeah, it was essentially just like this, except it had additional ER small. And instead of the heat sinks and whatnot, he had jump jets. And so he became a legend in the Battle of Tukiad. Aiden and Martha destroyed the Comm Guard's 201st Division and the 77th Comstar Division.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they ended up having to pull back.
Just getting there.
I would say it was a combination of, let's call it battlefield deception by the Comstar, Comm Guards, and whatnot, and well, some bad decisions made by the other Jade Falcon commanders. There we go. Now we'll just work these guys at range. And so, in the end, they ended up having to pull back. They ended up getting swarmed. And so, they're trying to pull back to their dropship, the Raptor. And at that time, on the battlefield, Aiden Pride finds out that mech warrior Diana is his daughter. And she's critically injured in a downed mech on the battlefield. So, Star Colonel Aiden Pride, pressed by the entire 4th Comm Guard Army, decides that he is going to fight a rear guard so that his daughter can be evacuated from the battlefield, and so that his Falcon Guard, which is called Pride's Pride, they can board the Raptor and escape. So he fights a single-man rear guard action against the lead elements of the entire 4th Comm Guard Army, and loses his life in that rear guard action, but not before, in his Mad Cat, he single-handedly destroys over a company of Comm Guard mechs. And it was just an awesome story. And he was probably, I think, the most famous Mad Cat pilot. Now, you did have some others that were interesting. Interestingly, the Bounty Hunter, mostly known for piloting a Marauder, he actually eventually got his hands on a Mad Cat and piloted one as well. So that's kind of interesting.
Where the markers are at.
New target
Instead of rotating. Yeah.
And this is just kind of the situation that this mech likes to be in.
Yeah.
We got guys up front putting up UAVs, doing a great job, and we're just sitting here just pounding mechs. I'm trying to pick their assault mechs like that Nova, bigger, slower targets. And I'm watching my hit markers. If they ever get under something, then we just change targets and just continue to strip armor off of heavy and assault mechs. And we're not above shooting a cicada if we find him with a busted leg.
Out, head by himself.
I think this guy's donezo.
ammo at 25%. Target destroyed.
Ah, I thought I could get that kill.
Target acquired.
So we're gonna hang on to the last of our LRMs. We're gonna finish these guys with lasers. It's 5-3. We're in a pretty good spot. I think we just need to be careful. Find good targets. I tell you what, it is obnoxious to get a lock on ECM mechs that have the proper perks. This is why I tell you guys, make sure you pick up those ECM perks. Because look at how obnoxious it is to get this thing to lock on. Even though you can see him. Maybe? No, that's stupid buildings in the way.
New target acquired.
Can we get him? There we go. He's about to go down.
New target acquired.
Maybe we can take a leg off this Raven.
Target destroyed.
Alright, there he goes.
Target acquired.
Now we need to take out the summoner. Maybe. Oh, we got him right before the missiles got there. Looks like I got about one more volley, a little bit less.
Give your backup. Never give your
Target
backup.
destroyed. New target acquired.
Got that cataphract.
Missile. LRM ammo.
Not quite enough to mangle that assassin.
Guys need to back up. Use your alarms and shit. Center torso assassin.
Gotta take this down. Alright, now we can go up. We just gotta finish the assassin.
New target acquired.
This hunchback's actually more dangerous. My arms are too low, I think. Yeah, too low. I'm gonna have to go over the ridge to get him. Alright, LRM's got him. Assassin. Alright, there's the assassin. There's two of them behind me, I think.
Incoming missile.
Yeah,
West.
missiles and PPCs coming from behind me. So I'm gonna link up with the team here. Break line of sight if I can get up here. Ah, look out, dude. Alright. There we go. Now we know exactly
Acquired.
excuse me, exactly where he's at.
Might as well just charge them, kill them.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you, Patton. I'm working on it.
Warning incoming missile.
We're gonna have to duck down here.
Warning incoming
I'm
missile.
30 kph though, I can't move fast. Got a torso twist.
And see, this is why it was a bad idea for him
Left torso.
to give up his lasers. Because he's only gonna get about one more shot at me.
So just go.
Tucked in here.
Destroyed.
Hey.
And then his LRMs are not gonna be any
with
useful.
the medium lasers, that shit's heating you up.
Hey, shut the fuck
Really
up. I
bad.
know how to drive my mech, dude.
Do with the PPCs is over on your left.
Yeah,
You gotta
I know
focus
where
on
he's at.
them.
Be quiet. You're done. That's why you shouldn't have gave up your lasers, dude.
Warning incoming missile.
And a torso.
Destroyed.
Good night.
Last one is behind
Where's that
you.
shadow cat? Yeah, I know he's behind me, dude. Shut up.
Over on your left a little bit. Your left.
No, he's not on my left. He's right
Yeah.
there.
Target acquired.
See? Shut up.
CT's open.
You're distracting people. Like, I don't mind coaching, but if you're going to coach, say who you're talking to, because you're confusing the other people who you're not spectating.
Target
Goodbye.
destroyed.
Nice match, guys.
In the glory of your triumph.
And that's exactly what we talked about. Work them at range, and then at the end, you've got a 75-ton mech with most of its armor intact that can pump out a lot of laser damage to finish off the game. Not as much damage-wise, 531, but 3 kills and 6 assists and 1 kill most damaged out. I feel like that's a pretty solid game. And again, a good example of kind of what I had in mind as far as play style when you play this mech. Pretty awesome. We'll try one more and see what we get.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Command to warriors. Capture resources and wipe the surface clean of any enemies.
Conquest on Polar Highlands. I really love this. I know. A lot of people don't like it and they whine and cry, but look, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. If you can't close the distance with your AC-20 medium laser mech on Polar Highlands, it's because you're not driving it right. There are plenty of blow places, waddies, dips, and whatnot that you can use to close with the enemy, right? If you want to play something that has, a max effective engagement range of like 50 meters and just be smashing into each other, they make games for that. It's called Call of Duty and shit. This is supposed to be a little more tactical. There's supposed to be a little more movement involved, and that's why I like this map, I should say, and this game mode, it encourages that. I really get annoyed with the maps and game modes lately that just encourage point blank fighting and brawling. Like, don't get me wrong, that's a big part of the game, and you should be able to do that, but other builds should also be viable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of times they're not. Case in point, one of the more effective tabletop mechs was the Devastator. 2 Gauss rifles, 2 PPCs, that thing would destroy you before you could get halfway to it. If you weren't very careful. That is not a good build in this game. Does not work.
Just make sure they don't get it.
Very rarely does that work.
If we beat them there or not, we'll see.
So they're definitely off to our left somewhere. The question is, are they going to meet us up here? Or are they circling around kind of to our left and behind us? We'll find out when this guy crests the ridge. We'll let him do his job with his ECM. There we go.
Acquired.
If he sees anybody, we'll support him. And there they all are. Ouch.
Incoming missile.
Niet. Do not want.
Warning. Incoming missile.
There's one that split off.
This guy's got ECM. It's going to be obnoxious to get a lock. But once you get it, you can hold it. Pummel the summoner.
There's a UAV.
Oh, this is awesome. We've got a UAV up, I think, and they haven't seen it. Oh, where it went. Oh, and they've got a UAV up there.
Target spotted.
Take that down so they can't do the same thing to us.
New target acquired.
Cataphract now. Good hits on the Cataphract. Just keep pummeling this guy. Still getting good hits.
Artillery strike.
That was unfortunate timing.
New target acquired.
Are we gonna get anything? No, he scooted out of the way. Don't want to peek just yet. We're getting good damage just pummeling people with LRMs. That was Alpha that went down, so the Cataphract, yep, he's still there.
New target acquired.
We've lost our UAVs, so we're relying on people
New
peeking
target
now.
Acquired.
Oh, he's just giving up on life. Yeah.
Online.
That was a, excuse me, a waste of a volley.
Let them push ahead.
New target acquired.
Yeah, probably not going to get this off. We'll try it though.
Artillery
Yeah.
strike online.
Take down this UAV. Oh, I hate shooting at UAVs. There's another one. Come on. Alright, somebody else got it because I suck. I got that one though.
New target
There we go. Somebody put a
acquired.
UAV up. Get some locks. Put some damage down for the team. Keep beating up this archer. He's got MRM, so he's not a source of the LRM fire. I might should shoot at their LRM carriers,
25%.
but I mean, when this is over, we're going to go into the brawl, so I feel like it might be more important to continue wailing on these mechs that'll be more effective in the brawl when that comes.
New target acquired.
There's another UAV, but go ahead and take it down. If I can get it to... There we go. I think they've got a good lock on this adder. Looks like he's being chased.
LRM ammo
No,
depleted.
I'm stripped. Fuck. Alright.
And there we go. Picked up the kill out of that. So now it's time to wade, and we just need to find a good spot.
Target acquired.
Maybe right through these low grounds here. A little to the left maybe, if I can go up. Or, yeah, we'll link up with this guy. Go up and over with him.
Destroyed.
Oh, you got that guy already. Nice shot, my
New
dude.
target acquired.
What else we got here? Oh, there's an awesome.
Alpha's almost down. One of the big murmurs.
They're behind us. kind of to my left right now.
His right
But
shoulder
I don't want to
in.
give up this awesome. I want to put him down. Come on, die. Ah,
Target destroyed. New
They're on the
target
run now.
acquired.
they're not on the run. They're trying to flank us.
Heat level
Ow.
critical.
Coolant flush. This is going to be the important part of the fight right here. This is where I take the hits for the team.
Coming for you, Sun Spider. Get ready.
Oh, that poor sun spider.
Coming for you.
Bushwhacker's just giving me his back, trying to kill the sun spider. Or try to help him.
Need assistance.
Oh, they're bullying it.
New target acquired.
We don't want to dive into this with no support. Oh, I really wanted to take that torso off. Alright, we're going to have to try to kill the Bushwhacker. Just need to limit the amount of mechs shooting at us. Oh, gotta move back up. You gotta take his side off.
Heat level
There we go.
critical.
That just wrecked his day. Now we can finish him.
Target destroyed.
Yep, and now onto the... Oh, they already mopped up those two guys.
That's it, guys.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Do good damage in the opening phases. Try to make good trades. And then when you get to the end of the game, you've got a 75 tonner that can take the hits for the team and still dish out damage and secure the win. So that went perfectly. And yeah, you see the scoreboard reflects it. Only 2 kills, but 7 assists and 710 points of damage. Pretty textbook, I think. And there you have it, guys. 3 games in the Timberwolf Prime. And for my money, I think this is a very solid build. It's not a spectacular build. It's not going to shatter any world records. But I think it accurately reflects what the Timberwolf was in the tabletop and in the source material. And that is a heavy mech that, when all else fails and you don't really know what's going to happen or where you're going to play, you know, the Timberwolf was a mech that, yes, it excelled at long-range fire support, but it was capable and happy of doing anything else. It was just a really well-rounded machine. And I think this is true of this build here in MechWarrior Online. And honestly, if you're new to heavy mechs or if you want to move into heavy mechs, I think you could do a lot worse than picking up this build and this chassis and this configuration right here, because it's very forgiving. It's never going to be left out of the fight. It can fight no matter what the range or the terrain is. And it's just a very solid performer, and if you put it in the right position and play to its strengths, it can excel. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please consider leaving a like or a comment down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.